Look at this. This is so cool. My eyes look so cool. What's up guys? Welcome to another tutorial. Today's tutorial is actually going to be a part 1 just because eventually I'm probably going to do a part 2 of this. So the client that I'm going to show you guys is, he just started coming to me. He was going to a different barber before, which the barber was doing things a little bit different. So now I'm going to do things my way, and then I want to change a little bit of the shape of the haircut and change the silhouette of the haircut, just because when the client showed me what he wanted, I just thought that, you know, I would do things a little bit different. And you know, that's the beauty of this art, right? We all are artists, and we see and we do haircuts different. And you know, not to say one is bad or better, you know, it's just different takes on the same hairstyle, right? So this is how I said, this is gonna be a part 1. I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna start this process, and then some parts obviously they're not grown yet, so we have to let them grow, but eventually they will get there, and then when they get there, we'll do a part 2 and show you guys the process and the story behind this haircut, which is gonna be pretty cool. So anyway guys, I'm gonna take more of your time. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to comment below and let me know what you think. Also, don't forget to like it and subscribe, obviously. And yeah, we almost had 100,000, which is crazy, because this has been like such a crazy journey. You know, so it's cool to get to that one milestone, you know, and it's gonna be the first one, and I have so much more content for you guys. So anyways, let's watch the video, guys. So to start off, the first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and section the top from the sides. In this case, I'm not gonna wet the hair yet, just because, I mean, the client did have an undercut already, so I kind of have already sectioned that pretty much the way it is. So we're gonna start with the sides. We're gonna go ahead and grab a 5/0 or a trimmer, or you can use your machine with a lever close, whatever you prefer, just to create the first step and kind of to remove the hair from the bottom. In this case, I'm using a detachable 5/0 just because it gets me very close, just like a trimmer. I particularly like using my trimmers for this. I feel like they're not really built for that, so I like using something a little stronger, but it's still gonna give me the result that I need. After doing this, we're gonna go ahead and shave the bottom. I'm using the Dentist Pro foil. You can use whatever you have. You don't have a shaver, like an electric shaver, you can also use a razor. That's fine too. Whatever is gonna shave the bottom under the first guideline that we made. In this case, how you can see, I'm leaving a little guide between the shaver and the first guideline, just because in case that I need to blend anything, I can go ahead and blend that and create a nice transition, right? We're gonna start fading right away. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna create a first section. This section is gonna be kind of like 1/2 inch, and it's gonna be with the machine with a lever open with no guard, and right away we're gonna go start fading. So what I'm gonna do for this hairstyle is we're gonna go ahead and close the lever right away, and we're gonna fade from bottom to top. The reason why I like doing this now is just because I think for teaching it actually makes it easier for the people to see where they're erasing right away. I feel like if you leave the skin line for last, and it makes it harder because you don't know exactly how far you gotta go up and stuff. At least with this step, you already made you know where not to go from, right? Like you know exactly, because you made the first guideline, you know exactly where to go or not to go, and how high to go. So you know, like at least you got like a little barrier, pretty much, to say it like that. So we start from with the lever closed, and we start opening the lever little by little until we get to the guide that we made, and then like that's how we know we can stop. So we're gonna go ahead and start fading from top to bottom. In this case, we're gonna go ahead and use a number 3 with the lever down, and then or the lever open. And then when you're done, when you feel the machine's not cutting, then you can close it. And I like using clipper over comb. You guys know that I love using clipper over comb for a lot of my haircuts, just because it gives me the option to create the shape and start blending the top with the side, so which is actually very important. So now we're gonna go ahead and use number 2. We're gonna always start with the lever down, and then we're gonna close it little by little, and that's just the way I like to fade. So I always fade from top to bottom, from open to close. So you know, we're gonna start blending the number 2 into the 1, to say it like that, or the half. In this case will be a half. So yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and with the lever down, and then when we feel that it's not cutting anymore, then we're gonna go ahead and close that lever. As soon as we're done with that and we notice that it's not cutting anymore, we're gonna go ahead and use a number 1. The same thing, start with the lever down, and then little by little you can start closing that lever when you don't see that it's cutting anymore, or you don't hear the clipper cutting anymore, then you can start going and closing that lever little by little until it's fully closed. At this point, you should start seeing already the fade. You start seeing how it's looking, and you start seeing if you're leaving any dark spots or things like that, just to you know, so you can do a kind of like a cleanup after or retouch after, right? So in this case, we're gonna go ahead and use number 0 or 1/16. I know wall calls this like a half, and this calls a 0, so but it's the same thing, it's at 1/16. So the same thing, we start with the lever down, and then we start closing it little by little, start closing it, and just erase whatever we see that needs to be erased, whatever doesn't kind of belong there. You can kind of see the fade already, so but whatever you see like dark spots and things like that, that's what we're trying to get rid of. Usually the end is this card, for whatever reason, is not as small as the one from the wall, so you kind of have to reuse the machine with the lever open, just to kind of finish fading whatever is gone. For some reason, I don't know, I feel like Andy should have made that clip like a little bit like thinner, just so it was kind of like more in between the one and the machine with lever, with lever open and no guard. But whatever, I mean, it works. He gets the job done. That's what matters at the end of the day. So when we're done with the fade, now we're gonna go ahead and do the shape up. The client gets like a very natural shape up, so I'm not even gonna like really push it back or anything like that. I'm just gonna kind of clean it up. That's pretty much what we're doing. We're cleaning it up. I mean, his forehead doesn't really grow like crazy or anything like that, so you know, it's actually fairly easy because you're just kind of cutting whatever's out of place and then just making it kind of clean. You know, I mean, it's how I said, like his forehead grows pretty straight, so you don't have to really do much to it. More than anything, is just kind of to just make it look clean. That's it. So you don't want to push it back, you don't want to make like very harsh lines or anything like that. Just make it look good. Okay, so once we're done with we're cutting the, doing the shape up and doing the fade, now we're gonna cut the top. Okay, in this case, how I said before in the intro, like the client was going to a different barber, so the barber was doing things a little bit different. And one of those things was that the top was kind of round, it wasn't square. In my opinion, I like my undercuts to be square on the top, just because I want to maintain a lot of the corners. I want to maintain the shape, the square shape. So, it's just a little different, right? So in this case, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and cut the middle section, which we call it the mohawk section. So we're going to go ahead and cut that. We're not trying to cut a lot of length, how you saw. We're just trying to like make it square. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to part the hair right in the middle, to say it like that, and then we're going to go ahead and start pulling up horizontal sections 90 degrees from the floor, and then this is going to allow us to create a perfect square on top, pretty much, and that's what we want. I mean, at least in my case, that's the way I will cut an undercut, right? I will make it square, not round, like just because then the sides are going to be shorter when you do it round, and then the client might have problems styling their hair, right? So I want to create a strong square shape on the top. And also, like how you can see, like where the hair is parted before, I think it's a little too high. I feel like if we let it grow a little bit, we can actually create like a nicer part, but I mean, that's just my opinion, and the client kind of agree with this. So that's exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna let grow a little bit of the sides, and we're gonna definitely let grow the top, just so we can create a stronger square shape. In this case, I cannot really cut it short because the whole point is for him to let it grow. So pretty much what we're gonna do is that he's gonna come probably get a haircut every 3-4 weeks. So every time that he comes get a haircut, we just clean it up and create that silhouette that we want. And that's that's gonna be a little transition that's gonna take a couple of weeks. But once you get there, I feel the client's going to be happy, just because he's going to see the difference. He's going to be able to style his hair easier. And that's what we want, right? We want to give haircuts to our clients that last them more than, a couple of days. Want them to grow nicely. And that's the hardest part to do, right? How can you do a haircut that grows the nice way, grows how it should grow, and it lasts the longest, right? And that's what makes you a better barber than the guy from the corner, pretty much. So now we just blow drying the hair. Always remember to blow dry in the direction you want the hair to go. And in the front, obviously I want it to go a little up, so I'm blow drying it up, and everything else I blow dry it down. And after you're done with that, just make sure the hair is fully polished, and then once it's fully polished, you're gonna apply cold air. Here I'm using the razor just because I'm pretty much done with the haircut, so I'm just using the razor. Just make sure you stretch the skin, the same things that I've said on past videos. Just stretch the skin, the razor on a 45-degree angle, and just follow the natural lines, the one that you made with the trimmer. That's it. It's simple. If you're having problems kind of like using the razor, what I always say, practice on yourself, practice on your legs, on your arms, and like that you're gonna get it quicker. That's, in my opinion, that's the best way. So here I'm applying a little bit of product. This is just gonna be like a matte finish product. We don't want anything too shiny for this type of hairstyles. Something a little more dry and a little bit more natural. That's what's gonna give us that model's look from Instagram. So here I'm showing you before, how it looked before, and look how it looks now. He looks great. Such a nice haircut. We need to grow the corners, I would say, and the sides a little bit as well. But that's about it, guys. So this is the haircut. This is part 1, and I'll be bringing part 2 once the hair is fully grown. Thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care. By the way, if you guys are wondering if he plays soccer, he's a professional soccer player. Okay, bye.